But the single biggest scandal that has yet occurred in the Canadian Senate was not the misspending. It was the really illegitimate notion that the Prime Minister's office has the right to tell its Conservative senators how to vote. And for the first time in the history of this country, a bill passed in the House of Commons, a democratically elected House, passed Bruce Heyer's Climate Accountability Act, and when it went to the Senate, the Conservative senators were instructed to kill it at their first opportunity. This is the first time in the history of this country that appointed senators have killed a bill without a single day of study in the Senate of Canada.
Mr. Harper, did you ask the senators to stop that bill?
We always ask senators to do, we cannot force them to do anything. What we ask them to do, Paul, is we ask them to support the party's position. The party didn't support that particular bill. But what I would say is this. To look at the facts of the Parliament under this government. This is often not reported. We have backbenchers operating and voting more freely than we've had in decades. We have more private members' legislation that has gone through Parliament under this government than multiple governments before us. That's the reality of the situation.
You've also invoked closure more than all previous prime ministers combined.
I was there with Jack Layton in front of the Senate the day those senators had the temerity to block a bill that had been adopted by those people who had been elected by the Canadian voting public. Ms. May is right. That was the first time in 75 years. And on what subject? The most important issue facing future generations. I don't want my grandchildren to have to bear the burden for wrong-headed choices today. Mr. Harper has just admitted that he asked the senators to vote to kill a bill adopted by the House of Commons. What greater proof of a lack of respect for our fundamental democracy than asking unelected people to defeat a bill voted upon and enacted by the elected Parliament?
Let's be very clear. We simply ask senators to stick to their principles. And the fact of the matter is that private members' legislation has been blocked very frequently in the past by the Senate.
Never.
This is
the last time was 75 years
what is
ago.
unprecedented
Never.
would be government legislation. The reason I don't have